Good morning, children. A warm welcome to the class. Yes, we are seeing the lesson, the cherry tree, part 1, part 2 and part 3 is over, isn't it? So, shall we go on to the lesson? Yes. So, we saw that the central character of the lesson is Rakesh living with his grandfather in the foothills of the Himalaya, isn't it? Because the parents where his parents are living, there is no schooling over there. So he got shifted to his grandparent, that is grandfather's house, and along with grandfather, he is staying there. And once, as he was going to the market and was coming back, he had a cherry, and how did he plant it off, and how it just been spotted into a plant and into the trees that we were seeing in the last class. So shall we continue? So we saw different seasons, isn't it? We started with the winter in the hills. Yes, then we saw the monsoon season. So as such we saw many seasons. Rainy season we saw. At last again then we saw about the summer season. So we saw winter, monsoon, rainy and the summer season. At last we have come back to the winter. So let's see what is going to happen. Yes. All of you take out page number 30 from the last second paragraph. So shall we start? Okay. Winter came early. The cherry tree bent low with the weight of snow. So the winter was early and the cherry tree as it grew. Yes, now it is not no more a plant, it has grown as a tree. So as it has grown as a tree, due to the snow, the cherry tree started to fall. Yes, started to bend low. Then in February, it was Rakesh's birthday. So in the month of February, it was actually Rakesh's birthday. He was 9 and the tree was 3. So you see, the Rakesh was 9 years old and the year of the tree was just 3 years old. But it was almost as tall as Rakesh. So however, whatever is the height of the Rakesh, till then it was the height of the tree also. One morning, when the sun came out, grandfather went into the garden. So one morning, the sun, that is, it has risen. At that time, the grandfather went into the garden. He stared at the cherry tree and then called out, "Rakesh, come and look." So he was just staring. What is the meaning of staring? That is to have a deep look. So he was having a deep look. Who was having the deep look? The grandfather was studiously, continuously looking at the cherry tree like this. And at last he called, "Rakesh, come out and look." So let's see what to look over. Rakesh and grandfather gasped at the tree. So both of them, that is the Rakesh and the grandfather, rushed towards the tree. There was a pale pink blossom at the end of the branch. So they were able to see a pale pink blossom was there in the end of the branch. What was it? It was a pale in color, pale pink. Yes, blossom. The following year there were more blossoms. So it started with one and then it spotted out, many blossoms came out. And suddenly the tree was taller than Rakesh. So now the tree has grown very big. It is very taller than the height of the Rakesh. And then it was taller than grandfather, who was older than some oak trees. So now it has reached to the height of the grandfather. First it has crossed the Rakesh. Now the tree has even crossed the height of the Rakesh. So it has grown very, very tall. But Rakesh had grown too. But at the same time, definitely Rakesh has also grown. He could jump and run and climb trees as well as most boys. So as what other boys do, the Rakesh is able to run climb, jump on the top of the tree. And he read a lot of books, although he still liked listening to grandfather's stories. So Rakesh was by nature, he likes to read many books. Even though he was reading many books, he loved to listen to the stories narrated told by his grandfather. Bees came to feed on the nectar in the blossom of the tree, and tiny birds pecked at the blossoms and broke them off. So see, now the tree is bigger, isn't it? So as soon as the tree became bigger, the bees started to come there to suck the nectar from the blossom, and the tiny birds started to peck on the blossom, and the blossom started to break off. But the trees kept blossoming. That is, one by one, the trees started to blossom. That summer, there were small cherries on the tree. So that summer, there were small cherries. Rakesh tasted one and spotted it out. But since it was small, Rakesh took one and tasted it, but it was not very nice because it has just put it on. It is very small. It's too sour because it has to be grown, isn't it? It has to be turned into fruit to be sweet enough, since it is small. So the Rakesh says after it is very sour in taste. It will be better next year. So grandfather says that you don't worry. If it is sour this year, next year it will be better. It will be good enough to eat. A few days later, on a warm sunny afternoon, so after a few days, on a warm sunny afternoon, Rakesh went into the garden and lay down on the grass beneath the trees. So a few years later, the Rakesh, you can see in the picture it is given, Rakesh was lying on the down the shadow of the tree on the grass, on the meadow spread over there, down the trees. He gazed up through the leaves at the great blue sky. So he was lying like this, and from that he was gazing, looking at the blue sky, peeping through the leaves of the cherry tree. Grandfather came outside too, and they waited in silence until the stars came out. So both of them, you can see in the picture, isn't it? Both of them are lying on the grass, and even the grandfather also accompanied, and both of them, they were lying there till it became night. So when does the star come? Star comes during the night, isn't it? So till the night, both of them were lying over there. There are so many trees in the forest, said Rakesh. Why do we like this tree so much? So the Rakesh says as he was lying, there are so many trees there in the forest, isn't it? But why do we like particular this tree alone? Because we planted it ourselves, said grandfather. So grandfather said, we love this tree this much because we planted this tree and it has grown into trees. And we planted this plant and it has grown into tree. Just one small seed, said Rakesh, and it touched the smooth bark of the tree that had grown. So he was just surprised because Rakesh has eaten all the that is the fruit, that skinny part, and only that one seed he just planted. From that just one seed, it has grown into a big huge tree. So that's what he said. Is only one seed he planted, and see how big it is, and he started to pat the bark of the smooth bark of the trees. I wonder, he whispered, is this what it feels like to be God? So he says that from one just small thing, see what big thing has come out. So is this how we can feel the presence of God? Yes. So that's what he says so, and both of them started lying there, and what they were doing, they were just admiring the glory of the trees. Yes, so it's written by the author of the lesson is Ruskin Bond. So we know Ruskin Bond is a good narrator poet, nature poet, and in this lesson also he has beautifully written about the nature, about the different stages of the growth of the tree, yes, different seasons, about the birds, insect, what they do. Yes, everything is being clearly explained in this lesson, especially about the nature. So that is why we call the Ruskin Bond to be a nature poem. So that's all for today's class, children. With this lesson, I have completed the lesson fully. Thank you. Bye. See you.